So it's literally midnight, and I wanted to tell you guys a story. This story is about when I put my ex in the freezer and he almost died like 2 weeks later. So I want to preface this by saying I do not recommend, I don't recommend you doing ritual work, spiritual work, if this is not your lane, if it's not your ministry. And I also want to say that your intention in any type of work is everything. Your intention will determine how quickly it works and if it works at all. So, boom. In a recent video, I told you guys that I used to be in an abusive relationship, and this individual, my kid's father, was really doing a number on my mental. And I kept warning him to leave me alone. Please just leave me alone. Let's just learn to coexist in this house for the kids. That just leave me be. He would not leave me alone. Every day it was something. I used to do work for people, like ritual work for people, and I had all these herbs, and my office was set up really nicely. And one night he just decides to come in and completely knock everything over, destroying everything. He would come home from work and just say like little nitpicky things, just to really get under my skin. And one day I had enough. So what I did was your classic freezer spell where I had a little jar. I printed out a picture of him really, really small. I wrote his name on the back along with his birth date. I put it in a jar with some vinegar. Not that I'm telling y'all don't do this. That's not what I'm saying. So I put the picture in this little jar along with vinegar, red pepper flakes, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and I can't remember what else. And I sealed up the jar, and then I put foil around it because I really wanted to trap in that energy. I didn't want none of that shit to escape, okay? So boom. Then I held the little jar in my hand, and when I tell y'all I was angry when I was doing this. Like I could have spit fire. I was so pissed. Okay? And I really think that's what helped the work be so powerful, or to be so powerful. Put the foil around it, set my intentions. I held it. All of that anger that I was feeling on the inside, baby, was imparted into that jar. Then I put it in the freezer. Forgot about it. So boom, I didn't really think it was working for real because this nigga kept fucking with me. Like, he would not leave me alone. And then randomly, like 2 weeks later, he's looking like peaked. His eyes don't look right. He has lost a lot of weight. And he's just different. And I'm like, what the fuck? But not knowing, I'm not thinking about the jar in the freezer, girl. So boom. Then one day, goddamn, he was in the bed. When I tell, it's not funny. I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just like, I'm just shocked still to this day. So boom. He was in the bed and he was breathing so heavily, like he was gasping for breath. He could not keep anything down. He had lost it appeared as though he had lost like 20 pounds in like 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, he lost 18 pounds in 2 weeks. Still, I'm not thinking about the goddamn jar in the freezer. Like, it's not. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, bro, is you good? That's not funny. I'm sorry. Inappropriate. But I'm like, are you okay? Because it's not giving that you're okay. He was like, no, I'm fine. You know, a narcissist, baby, they stubborn as a mule. So I took it upon myself to call the EMS because I'm like, this nigga look like he is one foot in the grave and one on the banana peel. So boom, the ambulance came. No, I'm lying. I called to have a nurse come and do an IV drip because I'm like, maybe you just severely dehydrated or something. So she comes and she looks at him and touches his skin. She's like, something ain't right. So she took his blood sugar, y'all. This individual has never had diabetes or any inkling that he was pre-diabetic or anything like that. So she takes his sugar and she's like, yeah, it's not even registering. It's so high. He needs to go to the ER, like stat. So boom, she is the one that calls EMS and they come take him to the ER. I go up there maybe an hour later, get the kids situated, grab some clothes for him and whatnot, go to the ER and they're telling me like his sugar is so high they couldn't even measure it at the hospital. So it's at this point that I'm sitting in the ER like, uh-oh. That's when I remember the jar in the freezer. So boom, then I leave and I immediately go home and take that fucking jar out of the freezer. And then I had to do a healing spell on him, girl, because I didn't want the Negro to die. I just want him to leave me the fuck alone. So fast forward, full-blown diabetic. It doesn't run in his family. It literally came out of nowhere. A few months prior, he had went to the doctor, got, his physical. There was no indications of diabetes. So, I said all that to say, be careful because you really don't know how powerful you are until somebody fuck around and die. So, and that was never my intention, Lord have mercy. So I had to take it out of the goddamn freezer. And I actually had to do a healing ritual with a blue candle. And he was in ICU for 5 days. And he made a full recovery. Thanks to me. I almost killed him and then I had to bring him back to life, bitch. Like, don't do that.